transitioning into this whole notion of visual training and what the role is and what it can do for players. Go.
Yes. Well, it's trainable. You can train your eyes. And I am 57 years old. And because of the responsibility of being a good example for visual training, I have begun to train my eyes. And it's been amazing because, even at, I'm not young and I've been really working hard to train my eyes. And now all of a sudden I can't miss. So my lessons are better and giving my players better workouts, and I'm having less arm pain because I'm hitting the ball more cleanly. So your eyes are trainable. So there's a misconception that your vision is your vision and you can't change it, but that is false. You can. So that's one thing.
And it's not just a matter of getting contacts or glasses, because oftentimes it really doesn't have anything to do with having 20/20 vision. It's the way your eyes track, right? And what you're focusing on. And so let's talk about that, Bill, because that's what I find so interesting about this, that it's not, necessarily a function of again, whether or not you have 20/20 vision, but training yourself to look differently at the court, at the ball, at the strings, at the opponent, all of those things.
Right. Well, and that brings us to another misconception, and that is that everyone sees the same. Dr. Cheryl Calder, who I just recently had an hour-long interview with, she's perhaps she's the preeminent expert on visual training. She's working with Liverpool, Chelsea, F1, Formula One drivers, some professional tennis players, and she's tested over 100,000 athletes and found that no two have the same strengths and weaknesses visually. So no two people see the same. So we have this presumption that you can project our visual ability onto someone else. Why can't you see that, right?
Yeah.
So
it's like that dress color thing that went around the internet a couple years ago. Like, is the dress blue or black or whatever?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no two people see the same, and so it's really important to understand that you're going to have strengths and weaknesses, and if you know your strengths, you can operate out of them, and if you can mitigate your weaknesses and improve them, then you're going to see much better. So it's a really
with your
important
tennis
thing.
strokes, just like with your tennis strokes.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
So, like for instance, there's an app on the Apple Store. I'm not sure if it's an Android app as well, but it's called Hawkeye. Not to be confused with the line calling, the line calling thing. But it's a really amazing and simple app that gives you patterns of lines, and it varies between being pretty easy and extremely difficult, and the lines go in different directions, and you have to choose which one it is. And I'll tell you what, a 5-minute workout with that is exhausting.
Is it a free app, Bill?
It is a free app.
Okay.
And then let me see.
We'll link to it in the show notes too.
Yes. And one thing I've recently also begun doing is I've bought some eye patches, because eye occlusion training is amazing. So you can just put an eye patch over your dominant eye for about 5 minutes and just go about your regular activities, and your non-dominant eye is going to get a workout.
And we talked about the dominant versus non-dominant in the last podcast we did together, which again, I'll put a link to that one in the show notes too. But that whole notion of dominant and non-dominant eye, I think, is very, very interesting. And it was something that I was first taught about when I took a lesson in Mallorca, Spain, on the red clay. And I'd never heard anything about that, but that's the first thing they do. They identify your dominant eye. That's the very first step in coaching a young player.
Was Miguel Crespo around?
No, that's not who
Okay,
taught
but
me, but
he's-
maybe
no.
he coached.
The Spaniards, especially involved with ITF education, are way ahead of everybody when it comes to laterality. So laterality is the dominance of things throughout your body, right? So
Okay.
you've got right eye, left eye, right shoulder, right hip, left hip, spin preference, hands, feet. So that can zigzag through your body, or it can make a straight line or something in between. So all those things make a difference. But let's go to 30,000 feet for a second. So here's a question for you. We'll give you the quick quiz. What
Okay.
percentage of your brain's activity centers around your vision?
Ooh. I'm going to say 25%.
60%.
What?
Yes, and no other sense has more than 10% of brain activity associated with it. So it's the thing that your brain is most busy doing. All right. So now seeing, and then somewhere around 80% of that is processed by your dominant eye.
Got it.
So 48% approximately of your brain's activity is coming through your dominant eye. So it's important to know which one it is and to intentionally look through it. And then also to train your non-dominant eye to track better with your dominant eye. So
I recently had something interesting happen. I went to the optometrist for the first time since before COVID, just to check my prescription. And it turns out I need a contact only in one eye. So I guess my other eye is my dominant eye. I don't know. But I thought it's the first time in my adult life wearing glasses or contacts that I've been told you only need one.
Yes. Well, it's possible. It's actually possible that you might reverse that. So, if you really get busy exercising your eyes, you might find that you can can do that.